Good morning, good morning. Welcome to my platform. Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday, happy Friday. I won't be before you long, but I just have some thoughts up here that I have to get out. So today I was thinking about the unwritten chapters of our heart. Some of us have heart desires that we never bring to surface. It never comes forth because of so many reasons. You know, life changes, life situations could be it, or just fear and thinking that we can't do it, we can't make it come to pass, you know, or we just don't have enough faith or confidence in ourselves that we can do it. So it's numerous of reasons why there is unwritten chapters in our heart. For me, I could say truly, for me, is fear has set me back from a lot of things. And this year and last year, I began to really, really exercise my faith and just step out on faith. There was times that, I thought that I couldn't do anything. As far as writing a book, I was like, nah, I don't think I can do it. But I did it. In 2010, I decided to step out there and I test the waters, and I say, let me see if I can do this. So I did that. Then 2019 and 2020, I decided to get my degrees back to back, and I did that. I mean, fear have kept me from doing the things that was on my bucket list for years. So the unwritten chapters that was in my heart, it was just in my heart, just sitting there and waiting on me to really exercise my faith and just step out like Peter did on the water. But I don't want to get my eyes off of my prize and off of my destination and off of my goals. Because if I do that, I know that I will fail. I know that it will never bring to surface or come to surface. So these unwritten chapters or unread chapters in our heart is the things that we have held there for so long because so many reasons. And this year, I decided to be better than last year or the year before. I decided to push forth no matter what. I decided to keep progressing. If no one come with me or no one cheers me on, I have decided to keep going. If I fail, I would get back up, brush myself off, brush everything off that try to stop me. But I would get back up and keep going. The mind has to be renewed. The mind, when things come in your mind that is negative, you have to reverse it and say things positive. So That was very hard for me for years to reverse the mind, the way of thinking, the way I receive things. Our perceptions sometimes can hold us back from reaching the goals that we had in here. The unread chapters of our heart. The unread chapters of our heart. I don't know what chapter that you skipped over. You know, sometimes when you read a physical book, let me get a physical book. Sometimes when you're reading a physical book that you can see, and you turn in these pages, and you go to something that interests you, you won't even read it at the beginning or from the beginning. You don't read it from the beginning. You just skipping over it. And you go to something that you think you might like. That's how we do in life. Sometimes we skip over the things that's so important to us, and we miss the things that God is telling us in the chapter of our life. Because we are a written book that needs to be read. And we have to begin at the beginning, not in the middle, not in between, not at the end. So the unread book of our life is to start over and read it from the beginning. That goes for anyone who is trying to accomplish their goals, who is trying to be better in life, who is trying to change and reposition themselves. The mind. So let's go back to the beginning, because we are all unique in our own way. And one thing I have learned is never to be like someone else, because God has made us perfect in His image. We are all unique in some kind of way. But somehow we lost ourselves because we tried to start in the middle instead of the beginning of the unread chapters in our life. God gave that to me this morning about the unread chapters in my life. I don't know about your life, but I can speak for me. And I have to go back and start from the beginning. You know, like I said, fear held me back for so long. And I didn't know who I was. I didn't know the person that I am today because fear held me back. There were so many gifts and talents in me that I didn't even recognize until I let go and let God have His way. And the main thing that I prayed for was to remove everything, God, that's not like you, especially fear. Yes, I had the faith, but I did not believe that I can do things that I wanted to do. But I had to step out like Peter. I had to at least try. And I tried. And when I stepped out, it was all good. Everything was great. God is doing great works in me. And God can do great works in you. Whatever's stopping you, just know that God has already ordained you to go forth. Before you even go forth, the way was already prepared and made. But the enemy gets up here and trap us. Those are the mind traps that the enemy began to lock us up, vault us down. He begins to beat us down so far that some of us feel like we're doomed, that there's no way out. But God is saying, unleash this morning your purpose, because the way was already prepared for us. It was already prepared. And the mind would keep you in bondage. Your mind would keep you from going forth. Renew your mind. The Bible tells us to renew our mind. Renew your mind every day, starting with the Word of God. Renew it. You can do it. If you can believe it, you can achieve it. Renew your mind. Be healthy in your mind. Health is wealth. I start every morning with the word, a devotional word for me every single morning. And not only that, I started with a cup of healthy coffee. And these two things began to get me started. This is my start every morning with prayer and devotion and with a cup of coffee from Artist Life. You hear me? Artist Life. 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 This give me life and this give me life. Together, these two are powerful. So, I came on here to encourage someone today. Make that lifestyle change. Do not stay in fear. Do not stay in bondage in your mind. Release it today, because God has already prepared the way. It's already done. And the most unique thing that I have discovered, it was predestined for us before we was in our mother's womb. Before we was in our mother's womb. It was already predestined our way. And in this life, all we doing is walking it out. We're walking it out. Believe in yourself. You have to believe when nobody else believes, because the footsteps in the way that you go is ordered by the Lord. Now, if you order your own footsteps, then there's no belief. But when you release it and let it go and let the Lord order your footsteps, anything is possible. Anything is possible if you believe. Okay, y'all make it a great Friday. Thank you once again. Bye-bye.